Hi and welcome to our day 6 of this 7-day program on championing resilience in times of crisis. 7 day to equip yourself with the tools and reconnect with this inner wisdom, in this inner resilience, and strengthen this resilience so that we can surf on the crisis, manage this crisis in a way that is productive and constructive to us, and we prepare the post-crisis, the recovery, the moving forward. Yesterday, you looked at the inner resources, which you looked at what is the first resource you have at your availability to implement these projects you have in mind, these opportunities you want to grab, the opportunities that a crisis always brings. I hope you enjoyed this process of updating your CV, but not in the sense that just updating, having the CV updated, but looking at these skills, looking at these achievements, reformulating and revising, revisiting all what you've done, how you did it. This little work on journey backwards on what's been your accomplishments until today at professional level, but also at personal level. What are these parts of you that you have activated, these parts of you that you would like to activate a little more? So what is available to you? Then you have linked them to your opportunities and projects. And today we're going to look at what are the external resources available. And here is a very important point. That's why it's at the end, because it can look the easiest one and it's one of the most complex. We need to find the balance into using and requesting and triggering external resources. Of course, we need external resources. We are interdependent beings in the way our world functions now. I mean, we speak about globalization. It's even, I think, more than that. I mean, so we absolutely interdependent, and the current crisis shows it. Now we contaminate each other. We have to close to maintain all that. So and at the same time, so we've closed our borders to avoid contamination and to avoid contaminating others. And at the same time, we have to work together on that one. There's no way we can work on our own. Interesting learnings, but that's another thing. So definitely what also the crisis and the way we're reacting to the crisis is telling us is that this interdependence is a fact and it's part of our humanity, and it's beautiful. At the same time, especially in societies like the European ones, where the state has developed an important role in our personal and corporate lives also, where there's a lot of rights that the citizens have, and the state is providing a lot in many aspects and areas of society. It's going to be important for us to make the difference between what is our resilience, our use of external resources, our looking for external resources, but not depending of external resources. This how we're going to always activate our resourcefulness even when we are in need of external resources. How are we going to look for external resources that we need for our project and not feeling that we lack resources and we need those to make that happen? Yeah, so how are we going to use external resources, keeping our independence, our leadership, our steering the wheel, and how are we going to keep strong and resilient even if the external resources are not up to the standards we used to or up to what we would expect. How are we going to manage that? I'm going to give you this exercise in 3 parts today. First, we always start with that, no? Mapping, and something very visual. So get with your pieces of papers, color pens or color carton pieces, and put them on the floor. We're going to map all our available external resources today, now. What do I have from my company, from the state, from my previous achievements or things, I think external things that are not anymore me, but that I hear from my family, for this. Okay, talk. This is what I have here. I map everything. And then I put, second part, I take this list of opportunities, this list of projects, and I'm going to link them. Okay, for this project, for this opportunity, this is what I'm going to mobilize, and I'm going. So place with your pieces of paper on your floor or on your wall. That's a really nice exercise if you are confined now with children or with other members of your family who may be not involved. But this is quite a playful and a fun exercise to do. Have them getting on board with you, getting a deeper sense of what you do, learning skills also of resourcefulness, of mapping, of and get them involved. That's a nice exercise to do as a family or as a group. You can do it with your team also on definitely. I mean, if you have a team, do it with your team on Zoom or on Skype or whatever is the technology you are using right now. And put on the wall, have your little things, discuss. I mean, create this energy of togetherness in evolving. So get this is part also of an external resource. Now get this energy, this enthusiasm, this feedback, these different perspectives into your work. Okay, so you link that to your opportunities and project. Wow, already you can notice you have quite a bit of stuff. Okay, now third part, we're going to look at these opportunities and project, the resources that are already. Then I'm going to see, okay, to implement that one, I need these extra external resources. Okay, I have my inner resources, my internal resources, I have my external resources, and here I need extra this and this. Look, just before we go to the next part of this one, I want to highlight something. You see, I didn't say, oh, what do I lack? You know, when we look the energy, how you feel when you say, oh, I miss that, or this is lacking, or this is like negative, this is disempowering, this is lacking. Now there's a lack. So it's not what do I need, what I'm going to look for, which is action. No, I'm going to look for that. So it's possible, and I'm going to look for that, you know. And it's resources I need is not resources I lack. Okay? So it's important. Little by little, me, I still correct myself. You know, we've been years of education on how to communicate sometimes in a very disempowering way. So it takes, I mean, not years, well, sometimes depends on what we have, but this is a little like all what we've done all these days, a practice of strengthening, exercising this muscle. No? You can start looking at what you have here, and here I'm going to stop again. When you start to do this list of external resources that you need, and you've done the mapping of what is already there, it may be that it's not that much, or it may be that you feel, whoa, wow, I already have that. You know, once you map, you start seeing so many more things. Like, I guess you had it when you checked out your resourcefulness and your inner resources. And it can be that the external resources that you need are quite a bit. Okay, you want also to have a certain balance, but why not? I mean, let's see. But what can happen right now is to this moment of overwhelm, and then the emotion, the crisis, everything. No, yesterday I was in a coaching with a company here, resilience coaching, with 20 of the team, and some people mentioned how they are happy and suddenly they have these up and downs really frequently during the day right now. So they're feeling really excited. Yes, I can. They're doing the exercise, and yes, and then poof, suddenly like a souffle that just drops suddenly. When you have that, that's okay. you know, you are in the middle of a huge crisis. You have this tsunami that's come over you, that's revolution all the areas of your life. That's okay. So if you are doing the exercise, you're on a high and suddenly you have this moment, poof, back to day 2. Okay? You accept these emotions, you look at them, you name them, you embrace them, you nurture yourself, you give little empathy to yourself, and you free, you liberate your cup, you empty your cup from all these emotions that are blocking you. And take your time, put the exercise on the side, do something else during 1 hour, 2 hours, something that's going to bring you back on the board of your resilience, of your positive attitude and your positive mindset. Honor yourself, take yourself, nurture yourself. And sometimes, I mean, it's difficult to, we're so hard on ourselves, and self-care is a big challenge, you know. And the more, have you noticed, the more we achieve, the more we are strong on what we do, and the more it's difficult to be nice, kind, loving to ourselves. I speak out of experience. You know, that's a continuous challenge for me. So what do we do in these moments? Okay, we give this nurturing aspect, and we think about what we do with someone we love very much. That's not us. Because when that's us, we love us very much, but very quick and back to work. No? What will we do with someone we like very much, for who we have also high standards of excellence, but that we have this amazing nurturing love? Okay, so that will tell you what to do right now with yourself and with your emotions. And when your inner self knows that it will have, no matter what, this care, this nurturing, you will see that the downs will be less and less. Yeah. Okay, so we have a list of the external resources that we need to implement our project. So now a list of activities. What are you going to do in the current context? Okay, so in the current context, and it can be things on a little higher, longer term, that initiatives that you're starting, but you must know that these initiatives are going to bring the resource that you need. So you're going to try them and check, yes, no, talk. Okay, so you put all the activities and then you just get into action. Okay, call the bank, check on if I can negotiate that thing. Then I saw a friend the other day put a petition online requesting the government a number of emergency financial measures. So the feedback will be quite quick in terms of if the petition's getting signed, if the thing. So that could be one of them, the things that she gets, for example, to get the financial resources that are required. Negotiate with the bank. But on each resource that you need to find more than one ideally activity or strategies to get this. No? And then you check. Imagine it's all over now. Well, what do you do? I mean, many of you who are listening are entrepreneurs. I mean, you're the ones who inspiring us by your drive and your perseverance. Okay, another list. What happens if I feel down? Back to number 2. I empty my cup. Back to yesterday, reconnect with my resourcefulness. Oh, I'm super creative. Okay, what would my creativity do right now to address this, to find this resource I need? What for example, my sales skills or negotiating skills, how can they support me to get these resources I need, etc., etc. Okay, come back day 2, day 5, and here whenever you need. I mean, the other days also, of course, it's not very clear your opportunity, your project, and you find after you don't have any of these resources, you want to maybe not quit the big project, the vision, but you want to review some of the aspects, some of the legs, some of the arms that you have decided, to maybe adjust to the situation. It's a new situation. Maybe the way you have envisioned is not really realistic. You want to review it. Okay, you have every day some useful tools that you can use and readjust and create the way you want to create. Thank you very much. Continue commenting, writing to me. You can go on my webpages also, www www.ameliespeaks.com. You click on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. There's a contact form, there's an email, there's all what you need to contact with me if you have doubts, if you want to go further, whatever. I love to receive your feedback. I'm here available. I put my experience, my expertise in crisis management, in resilience at your disposal for whatever you need. I'm here. I'm going to, tomorrow is our last day of this first program, but this is a journey, this is a crisis we're going to walk together. So I have already contacted a few entrepreneurs from all over the world who are amazing, and they're going to share, we're going to be live to share with you few tips on how do they manage crisis. I'm going to share also extracts of my book that contains stories of resilience from Bosnia, Colombia, North Korea, Afghanistan, Cameroon, and Guatemala. I'm going to share with you what I learned from these amazing people that I met. Amazing people, like we are amazing. And this crisis will show more of our beauty, our inner diamond, and how amazing we are. So thank you for being here. I would like to congratulate the courage you have to show up and make it happening. Lots of love, and see you tomorrow.